The Machina archetype is a group of Earth and Dark Machine type monsters known for their tactic of being easily searched and added to the hand, or even dumped into the grave in order to be easily summoned by their own effects. Which is especially strong in this archetype because many of the monsters have built-in summon mechanics. What does that mean? Essentially, they don't activate an effect to summon themselves, meaning the opponent has a difficult time trying to interrupt the summons, since they can't stop them with typical negate effects. It's worth mentioning that some people pronounce the archetype's name of Machina as Machina. Are they right or are they wrong? Well, the reason why people call this archetype Machina is because in the original Japanese, the name of this archetype is Machinas.
Machina sniper.
So technically yes, while either pronunciation is fine, Machina is the correct way to say it. This is because the word Machina comes from the Latin word for machine, which you've probably heard in the phrase Deus ex machina, which means God from a machine, which if you don't know means when you basically pull something out your ass to get out of a almost unwinnable situation. Just, I have no way of winning this duel, I've got absolutely nothing. Oh, what's this? A Deus ex machina? Oh, I can win the duel now. Brilliant.
I still believe in the heart of the... cards.
From their lore, we learn a lot more about the Machina archetype. We see that the Machina were once the Iron Fist of global powers, whom had long dominated disputed territories. As conflicts escalated, massive military spending fueled an evolution in warfare. At first, the weapons were crude. However, after time, the Fortress, a next-gen weapon, was mass-produced, replacing the legacy Machina on the front lines. Through its battlefield data, it then birthed an upgrade, the Citadel, a state-of-the-art decisive weapon now facing a new unknown enemy. Decommissioned and left in slumber, the battle-scarred last-gen Machina were meant for an eternal rest in the arsenals. However, fate, in the form of an autonomous, compact mechanical life form known as the unauthorized boot-up device, had other plans. It infiltrated the weapons storage, stirring the dormant giants. The old Machina, thought to be relics, were about to be reawakened in a now much sinister form. What fate awaits these machines? Only time will tell if we get more support in the future. The Machina cards made their OCG debut in Premium Pack 9. More would release later in 2010's Structure Deck Machina Mayhem, which internationally would actually be the debut for all of the Machinas, since it featured all of them up to this point. 10 years later, they would get a brand new wave of support with Structure Deck Mechanized Madness, a homage to the original Structure Deck Machina Mayhem. Then, after this Structure Deck, a handful of Dark Machinas would release.
A Machina Ruin Force. 4,600 attack! Look at that!
Only one Machina card has appeared in the anime, Machina Sniper. It was the favourite card of a retired duelist that was rescued from a fire and kept safe by his friend. And did you know that Yugi himself dueled against the legacy Machina cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga? They were used by a duelist named Dixon. Looking at the Machinas that have released so far, they can be bundled into 4 groups. Group 1, the Force Group. Group 2, Megaform. Group 3, Citadel. Group 4, Ruin Force. The first group consisted of the legacy Machina monsters. These were Machina Soldier. When this card was normal summoned, while you controlled no other monsters, you could special summon one Machina monster from your hand, except another copy of itself. Machina Sniper, monsters cannot attack Machina monsters except Machina Sniper. Machina Defender, flip effect, add one Commander Covington from your deck to your hand. Wait, who's Commander Covington? Well, you see, when you manage to get these 3 monsters onto the field at the same time and then summon Commander Covington, you can use its effect to send all 3 to the grave to special summon Machina Force from your hand or deck. Machina Force is not only visually a combination of the 3 monsters that made it up, but its stats are a combo of the monster's attacks onto its attack and the monster's defense onto its defense. Machina Force had the ability that it couldn't be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by Commander Convington's effect. You must pay 1000 life points to declare an attack with this card. You can send this card you control to the grave, then target 1 Machina Soldier, Sniper, and Defender in your grave, special summon those targets. Unfortunately, all of these Machina monsters got the Barrel Dragon treatment. All the monsters that had guns on their artwork were censored for international release with plasma guns. Now sadly, these monsters do eventually get phased out of the meta. They were alright for a little while and then they just weren't very good at all because the new cards came out. However, they do make a resurgence, but that comes a little bit later. First, what replaced them? Well, that was the second Machina group. These consisted of Machina Peacemaker. When this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the grave, you can add 1 Union monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can target 1 machine monster you control, equip this card to it, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. Machina Gear Frame. When this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Machina monster from your deck to your hand, except Machina Gear Frame. Once per turn, you can either target 1 machine monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. Machina Fortress. You can discard machine monsters whose total levels equal 8 or more, then special summon this card from your hand or grave. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. Before resolving an opponent's monster effect that targets this face-up card, look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card from it. Fun fact about this card, by the way, it has a unique interaction. Basically, the way that its effect is worded, to pay the cost for its summon, you can actually discard itself to pay it. So essentially, you will only ever need to discard 1 other machine monster with this card, and you can summon it for pretty much almost free. And fun fact, if you merge Gear Frame, Peacemaker, and Fortress together, you get their combined form, Mega Form. Machina Mega Form's effect is you contribute this card, special summon 1 Machina monster from your hand or deck, except Machina Mega Form. If a face-up Machina Fortress you control is sent to the grave while this card is in your grave, you can banish that Machina Fortress from your grave, special summon this card. The third Machina group all released together in the updated structure deck Mechanized Madness. These consisted of Machina Cannon, who couldn't be normal summoned or set and must first be special summoned from the hand by sending 1 or more other machine monsters from your hand to the grave. Gains 800 attack for each monster sent to the grave for this special summon. Machina Air Raider, you can discard 1 other Machina monster, special summon this card from your hand. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target 1 machine monster you control, special summon from your deck 1 Machina monster with a different name and an equal or lower level than that monster. And if you do, destroy that targeted monster. Machina Irradiator, you can discard 1 other Machina monster, special summon this card from your hand. You can target 1 machine monster you control, special summon from your grave 1 Machina monster with a different name and an equal or lower level than that monster. And if you do, destroy that targeted monster. Machina Metal Cruncher, if you control no face-up cards, you can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1800. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can reveal 3 Earth Machine monsters in your deck, then your opponent randomly adds 1 of them to your hand. Shuffle the rest back into the deck. Now, while a combination form doesn't actually exist of these monsters together, we do have an upgraded form of the original Fortress monster. Well, in the lore, it got upgraded into the superior version, and that superior version is Machina Citadel. This monster cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by a card effect. Quick effect, you can target 1 machine monster you control, destroy that machine monster and all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it. If a face-up Earth Machine monster you control, except Machina Citadel, is destroyed by a battle or card effect, while this card is in your grave, you can special summon this card. Notice that in the artwork of Machina Overdrive, it is fighting a weakened version of Machina Ruin Force. This version has not yet absorbed Machina Fortress into itself, which is a card that does not exist yet. But corrupted versions of themselves, what are these? Well, it's the 4th group. Which, just before we cover, I will remind everyone, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're incredibly close to 500,000 subscribers, and your sub will help reach that goal. The final group, the corrupted Machinas, is a result of the unauthorized boot-up device attaching themselves to the deactivated legacy Machinas. The Corruptor's effect is once per turn, you can target one face-up monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. If this card is destroyed and sent to the grave, while equipped to a monster, you can special summon this card. We see this monster attached to every single Machina it corrupted in their artworks, with all of them being attached to the combined form. For instance, we have Machina Unclaspare, who is a corrupted Machina Sniper. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except machine monsters. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Machina monster from your deck to the grave, except Machina Unclaspare. Machina Resavenger, who is a corrupted Machina Defender. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave, then target one Machina monster you control. It gains 1200 attack until the end of this turn. When your Machina monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle while this card is in your grave, you can add this card to your hand. Machina Possess Storage, who is a corrupted Machina Soldier. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one Machina monster in your grave, except itself, special summon it in defense. But it cannot activate its effects this turn. You can target one other Machina monster you control and one spell or trap your opponent controls, return them to the hand. Finally, we have the corrupted combined form of these three monsters, which was Machina Force, but now is Machina Ruin Force. And even better, Machina Fortress has been merged with it as well. This monster's effect is it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from the grave by banishing machine monsters from the grave whose total levels equals 12 or more. When your opponent activates a card or effect during the battle phase, quick effect, you can pay half your life points, negate the activation, and if you do, halve your opponent's life points. If this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can special summon up to 3 of your banished Machina monsters whose total levels equals 12 or less. You might have noticed that the corrupted Machinas focus much more on being in the graveyard effects and bring themselves back from the grave. Whereas the original Machinas, well, there's a couple that do work in the grave. The majority of them all use their effects in their hands, so that's kind of cool how that works. Finally, for the spells and traps of the archetype, we have Machina Armored Unit. Once per turn, when a machine monster is destroyed by a battle and sent to the grave, you can special summon one machine monster from your deck that has the same attribute and less attack than the destroyed monster. Machina Redeployment. Activate one of these effects. Discard one card, add 2 Machina monsters with different names from each other from your deck to your hand. Discard one Machina card, add 2 Machina cards with different names from each other from your deck to your hand, except Machina Redeployment. Machina Defense Perimeter. While you control a level 7 or higher machine monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target level 6 or lower machine monsters you control for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. If a face-up machine monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one machine monster in your grave, add it to your hand. Machina Overdrive. Target one machine monster you control, special summon one Machina monster with a different name from your hand or deck, and if you do, destroy the targeted monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 3 of your machine monsters that are banished and or in your grave, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. Finally, Unauthorized Reactivation. Target one machine monster you control, equip one appropriate machine union monster from your hand or deck to that monster, but the union monster you equipped cannot be special summoned this turn. And with all that, that is the Machina archetype done. Fun fact, I actually really like this archetype. I think it's really cool. I like machine archetypes, thus the mechanical arm tattoo. And this is another one that I actually think is really cool. I love their inherent summon abilities and their boss monsters. They're pretty sick. Don't forget to subscribe, but other than that, thank you all for watching. Catch you later.